Great.
You seem tired.
Nah, I'm good.
Your rapping skills very much impressed me.
From afar, they don't look bad. Don't get too close.
I'm terrible. I'm terrible at rapping presents. I don't know why.
Me too.
Because I do know why. It's because I never did it as a child.
I am, but I still suck. Solid decent.
I always have way too much paper.
Yeah, me too, dude. I'm like, I can't have too little.
I usually go under, actually.
My end pieces are always way, way too long, so I have a big flop right over the back.
Yep.
I mean, you can cut it once it's already on there.
Nah, fuck that.
Nah, that's too much work.
Anyway.
So we're bad at wrapping presents because we don't like putting in the work.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Fifth Line Podcast. Thought I'd try and surprise you guys there.
Hello.
We're getting into it. Me and Nick actually hung out this weekend.
We did.
It was quite fun.
Look at you, boys.
Yeah, we did.
Oh my god!
I watched my first game of the year, guys.
And his first game of the year. What happened? Let the people know.
Yeah, you guys want to just get into it?
You had a really good first game. If it's the one I'm thinking of.
Let's flip around what I have in the plan, and let's go straight into that. Nick, start talking about your Sens, bud.
Oh, so Mike texted me multiple times through the week to say, "Hey, come down, let's watch the game," and "Hey, let's go golf." And I'm a poor texter. He needed to text me like 5 times for me to confirm those plans. But I went down Saturday morning to enjoy some company from Mikel and Danielle, and we watched the Ottawa-Tampa game. It was a good game for Ottawa.
Dude, I don't know.
Yeah,
he's good. Good luck charm, Nick.
The Senators shut out the Lightning, so I'll take it. And Tkachuk gets a hattie.
Which, I don't know. I forget where I heard this. I think it was when I was watching the highlights because I was surprised at the scoreline. That was only the second team to beat Tampa in regulation this season, if I'm correct. In regulation,
defense.
Right?
In Tampa's defense.
That could be true. They lose a lot in OT.
Yeah.
Tampa's defense, they seem to have a very decimated roster, and they were playing Brian Elliott.
Yeah, no, they had Elliott. So they had Elliott and net. Which when they play a team low in the standings, they're gonna play Elliott just because they want to rest Vasi as much as they can. And they had obviously they still have Cooch, Point, Chernak, and Bogosian's out, but they Cirelli dropped in one of the games this week. I forget which one it was. So they have half of their top 6. Their normal top 6 is out. 3 of their top 6 are out right now. So, but no excuses. The Ottawa still played a much better game. So,
and
the shots were really even too. It wasn't like Tampa was blowing their doors off and then the Senators just stole it. It was an even shot game, but I don't know.
No, the Sens played really well.
Yeah, Nick, how'd you feel about the hat trick? Tkachuk's first hat trick, his first NHL hat trick.
That was lame.
Good for him. The play before, they were on like a 2-on-1 or something, and they tried to get him instead of shooting at the empty net, they try and saucer it over to him to get that hattie, and I'm like, just fucking shoot it.
Now listen,
who cares about this goddamn hat trick?
Now listen,
I don't care.
I don't want to be that guy. But it was 3-0, and Coop pulls the goalie.
Right? Yeah.
Something tells me he might have been like, let's try. Let's try. I know. I've
seen he.
No, he does. He does. But like, part of me is like, was he just trying to give this fucking kid a hat trick? I don't think he was, but
I don't think he was. I've seen him pull early with with a lot of big leads.
He did.
So far this season.
He did it in the first game when they were getting owned by Pittsburgh. But yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's funny.
Seems like he uses his practice.
He does. He totally does.
When they played against the Avalanche a few nights ago, they had a kid get a hat trick that night too.
that was like what was that? 6-5. They won in OT.
Oh, never mind. I must have been looking at a different game.
Oh, well, I mean that was a big scoring game. So if there was going to be a hat trick, that'd be the one.
No, it wasn't. I thought I saw a hat trick though.
How did they do this week? Did they 2-1? Were they this week?
I can tell you what they were in their last 10.
Oh, sure.
Their last 10, they're 4-6. But this week,
if they're 4-6 in the last 10, then they were probably
in their last 5. They're 1, 2, 3, 4-1.
Yeah. So they're doing pretty. Oh dang! So they were 5-0, and they're the 5 before that then, or 0-5, I should say.
Yeah.
They were getting owned. Okay.
And they lost to the Islanders this week.
I'm going to talk about that next. Is that all you have
everybody
to say?
talk about their teams? Cause
I don't have anything more to say. It was nice watching my first game of the season. So, and my boy Josh Norris got a goal, so good for him.
That was lame too. Go, Rick. Go. It's all you.
All right. So first thing I want to say, Nick, you should watch more Sens games.
Clearly, he's a good luck charm.
Because good luck charm. Also, the Islanders again. They were on an 11-game losing streak, guys. It's not looking good. They're at the bottom of the Metro still.
I know.
But guess what? I don't want to talk about that shit right now. What I want to talk about is the fact that they finally beat a team, and it happened to be the Senators. So Nick, sorry about that. But also at the same time, it's funny if you look at the standings right now. I think this was a few days ago. It was the Islanders in 29th, the Canadiens in 30th, and then the Senators in 31st. And I'm just like, you remember last season when 3 out of our 4 teams were in the playoffs, and now 3 out of our 4 teams are in the bottom of the league. Yeah.
Mike and I had this exact conversation yesterday.
We did.
I'm fairly certain that the bottom of the league is still like that, but the Senators and the Canadiens flip-flop spots.
Yes. Okay, so here's what it is. It's
read it out.
So Arizona 32, Montreal 31, Ottawa 30, and Islanders 29.
Pain for Shane, baby. Pain for Shane.
Anyway, the Isles finally won in Ottawa, and they scored 5 goals, which is like a miracle in itself.
Jesus, yeah.
I don't know how they did it. Yeah.
Wait, what's a goal?
Yeah.
What's
a goal? I don't know what those are anymore.
What is goal?
Goal, Mike, is to win a game on home ice, and that's what I'm getting to. They beat Ottawa 5-3. That was great. But finally, they went home, and they had a chance to do it against Nashville. The last 12 seconds of the game against Nashville, they give up a goal. It's like a tip from the slot.
To tie it?
Oh, no. I remember putting that story on the page.
It was tied.
Oh.
Yeah.
The Islanders were winning the game 3-2 with about 13 minutes left in the third. Blew the lead, lost with 12 seconds left in regulation. Didn't even get a point.
I'm going to come back around to something like that.
I'm just gonna say I saw you laughing at that, Nick, and I think you're laughing at it because it's funny, not because you hate the Islanders, right? Right?
Anybody who gets inconvenienced,
yes,
any team that gets inconvenienced in the last 12 seconds by a tip goal makes me laugh.
That's fair. They do suck.
You can't hold the fort down for fucking 20 seconds at the end of a game.
Yeah, dude.
Well, you got to remember that's gonna. Oh wait, because it was tied.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so it was 5-on-5.
And they were home. You have the New York Islanders fan base behind you. Let's get the legs moving here, boys. Come on. No, I know it's not that simple, but no, in Trotz's defensive system. No, in Trotz's defensive system, though, that shouldn't be happening.
It should be that simple.
Yeah, right. But anyway, so they blow that. Then they play the Devils. They have a day off, then they play the Devils on. Oh, this was yesterday. And they finally get a home win, boys. The first win in UBS Arena. It only took them 7 games. No, 8 games. I don't know. Yeah, they're 1-7 or 1-8 right now. To be honest,
in UBS.
UBS.
Right. It was. They have the same number of wins in UBS as like the Sharks and Pittsburgh and Toronto.
All those teams.
Yeah.
Listen,
you know what?
They just had to get their first one. The floodgates will open now.
But I just want to say the game-winning goal last night. Zach Parise, shorthanded If you had told me that's how the Islanders would win the game, no way.
That's something.
Yeah.
That is also his first goal in an Isles
as
sweater.
a New York Islander. And that's why it was so huge. So
it took a little bit of time.
I've watched a few games. Just a little. I've watched a few games this season. And Parise, to be fair, Parise has been at best, but there are times where he's sniffing around the net. And to be fair, guy couldn't buy a goal. He was doing all the right things, like some games, and it just wasn't going in.
And it's also it's not to interrupt, but that's also Parise. Like that's not who's supposed to be doing it.
Exactly. Who's scoring all the goals, right? Yeah, he's supposed to be. Yeah. But it was so the play. It was 2-2, and the Islanders are killing a penalty, and Pajot goes to kind of swat the puck up the boards, and he misses. But because he misses, two Devils go for the puck, and he does this beautiful spinorama pass, just like a soft area pass into the middle of the ice. Parise skates into it and goes 5-hole. Beautiful. Nice. And that made it 3-2, and the Isles held on to it. But that was the first time when I was watching those highlights. I couldn't watch the game last night, that I saw like the UBS crowd really like into it. Like,
was it full?
Felt good. It seemed full. And it was loud. The Isles fans were loud. And then that made me, that made me feel good because, like, you know, I seriously, I haven't seen the excitement at home because they've just been losing. So knowing that the new arena finally had a taste of winning, that made my week. It was pretty awesome. And the last positive note I want to talk about, Noah Dobson. I think he has this week. The Islanders won 2 games this week out of 4, and Noah Dobson has 3 goals in the span of those games. And he's a young defenseman, so it's really good to see his offense kind of coming through, especially when the Islanders
are in desperate need.
Literally anyone, in desperate need. And also, they sent a bunch of guys back down because Brock Nelson's healthy again, and Casey Cizikas is back in the lineup.
Let's go.
The only injuries, Matt Martin has a nagging injury right now, and I believe somebody else, and Polak is still out. It's not good.
I think Mike's frozen.
I was for a second there.
Oh,
motherfucker!
Will it have lost all of that audio, or we still would have had that?
Yeah, for about 10 seconds or so.
Okay.
Just keep her going.
Yeah. So the Isles, some good things this week, but overall, again, they're still at the bottom of the Metro. So
they still have together.
Yeah, they do have to get their shit together.
Who'd have thought that losing Jordan Eberle would make that team crumble?
Well, I don't think it's that simple. But it definitely doesn't help. It definitely doesn't help that they lost Ebbs. But that's the only Isles news I have.
Right. I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you think that the playoffs are still in the picture?
I don't know if you guys will also say this, but they're in the Metro, man. If they were in like the Pacific or something, I'd be like,
maybe
it's getting to the point where it's kind of
they gotta make a run. There. Like they gotta go on a run.
On a run, like. You know, I need them to channel some Buffalo Sabres 10-game win streak energy before they crumble.
The one example I'm always going to bring up in this kind of a situation, you already know.
I know what you're going to say.
The St. Louis
2019 St. Louis Blues, yes.
St. Louis Blues.
So it's obviously it's still a possibility.
Yes, if we're talking about teams within this like friend group's fan bases, yours, Eric, has a much better chance of doing it than mine does.
All right, so I do want to. That's a good. It's a good point that you bring up, Mike, because I do think about that. Right, when you look at that Blues team, you look at the players on it, and you're like, they're better than this. Everyone knows they're better than that. They just need that, like, the best in them to be brought out. I guess it was the coach. It was whatever. The break. It was after the All-Star break, right, when they went on their tear.
It was like
the flip into the new year.
Yeah, it was the midway. It was the literal midway point of the season.
Yeah, and Jordan Bennington coming in and just, there were a lot of factors.
That was
the
big one, I think.
Yeah, and so that's the thing. Like I look at the Islanders and like if they going into the new year made some personnel changes, and I'm not talking about getting rid of Trotz or anything, but you have an established goalie in Sorokin, but let's say Varlamov, maybe he gets hot after the New Year's, right? And players start, you watch this Islanders team, right? And like, again, why were people picking them to be in the Cup final at the beginning of this season? Because how could you bet against them? Everyone did for the past few years, and there's something there, right? And so after the New Year's, yes, there is a chance of, that something being brought out. But like, I can't, from what I've seen this season, I just, and obviously as a fan, you guys know when you're cheering for your own team, you don't want to be overly optimistic. I would like something to happen. I will say this: I do think that the Islanders need to like play their hearts out and get into this break, and then go from there. I think that's huge. I think how they play going into the break, how they rest, and how they come out after, that determines the Islanders season.
It's also going to be, because there's going to be break around Christmas, New Year's, and then there's going to be All-Star break, and then there's also going to be Olympic break for some players.
Yeah.
It's going to be, this season's going to fucking drag, man.
Yes. Weird. And it's the first 82 game season in like 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Why couldn't the Habs been shit the 56 games? They kind of were.
Yeah, I did. They weren't great in that season.
Yeah.
It was just the way it was fucking formatted. They made it in and then went on a fairy tale run.
Yeah. But yeah, it wouldn't shock. It's still like,
I want to see it, dude, because I want my picks to be right.
I know we're gonna get into the Olympic stuff, but I just want to say one thing real quick with the Isles too. Because of their performance, obviously, I know Ben, you'll get into your roster, but Matt Barzal, obviously, people are like, oh yeah, like, play on Team Canada in the Olympics. Team Canada has so many options. You
got to perform well.
Yes, and Barzal's been performing well this season on a struggling Islanders team, all things considered. He has. Yes, he has. He's racking up assists. And points. Not the most goals, but again, Barzal always, in the grand scheme of things, the fact that he's performing and putting up the points he is on this team right now, it's a good thing. But
17 points, yeah.
Like,
it's the same. Like there's plenty. Mike and I know this too, with the U.S. players as well. Like, there's plenty of Canadian and U.S. players that are like, oh, those guys are fucking good. But then you're like, oh,
you can't play them ahead of other people.
Yeah.
Like last night or Saturday night when the Senators were playing Tampa, right? John Cooper's the head coach, and Tom Shabbat did something, and they're like, oh, he's trying to make a Olympic bid here for himself. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, I mean, he could, but there's also like, plenty of defensemen ahead of him that are better statistically in the league. So
it's
like the same thing. It's
before going down the Olympic path, though, I just want to say my point with all this real quick. I do agree with what you're saying, Nick, but my point with all this is just that, like, the Islanders, I think it would benefit them if nobody goes to the Olympics. That would be a big help. And the fact that out of Russian rookie goalies, Shesterkin for the Rangers is having a much better season is good, because Sorokin, who's been playing well for the Islanders, can stay with the Isles. And
as long as Shesterkin,
Barzal, yes. But Barzal and Pelech, I know Pelech's been in the conversation. They could just stay with the Isles, because the Isles right now, again, if they're going to do anything,
my roster has him going, but
And again, we'll get into that. But,
sneak peek.
But that's another big thing, Mike. To answer your question about how I'm feeling about playoffs, I think depending on who goes to the Olympics, that does make a difference.
If they can have if they can have like a little mini camp, like away for on the Olympic break, they have like a little mini camp. Like, I think that could help.
As a fan who's seen a mini camp help, yes,
yes, really. So and that's all I have about the Isles. Ben, I'm gonna get to your Habs.
Me too.
Let's hear it.
Yeah.
Want me to add in some cricket noises there?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that'd be good.
Would you like this?
There was a thing I'm not feeling it. I'm gonna have some of this, but
okay. I don't know. I just had an apple on my desk.
But the Habs. I haven't been watching a lot. I'm not gonna lie. The one time I did actually start to pay a little attention was a game against the Lightning, and it was going well for a bit. And then I was kind of listening to the third period on my phone as I was at work because I was busy. So I just kind of listened to it. And I hear them starting to get filled in a little bit, but they're still winning. And then it's 2-1 coming up to the end. And then Tampa ties it. And I'm like, all right, cool. Overtime, whatever. It's Tampa. Makes sense. A good team. No. Like 53 seconds left. Something around there, I think. 50 something. I don't know.
I think it was 30.
Oh, okay.
I think it was like 33.
Regardless, still bad. All of it's bad. Tampa scored and won 3-2. I don't know why they won't give poor Jake a rest. I don't know what they think they're doing here.
They played him again on Saturday.
Yep, they did.
He's going somewhere. He's going somewhere in March. He's going somewhere. Yeah, he's got to be going somewhere.
Probably. And he could get a good return for Jake Allen because if any pro scout watches him doing what he's doing with this team right now, and some of the games he's put up, they're like, oh, he's being hung out to dry every fucking night and actually making them at least respectable most nights. Although I mean, there's been some blowouts, but like, I just feel so bad for Jake Allen.
Just hope he stays healthy.
You're saying you didn't watch Saturday's game where he gave up a goal in the first 2 shots of the game in the first 2 minutes of the game?
No. I didn't.
I think it was the first shot. I thought it was the first shot.
Regardless, I still would not hold that against it because he's just been. Yeah. I don't know how you go into games as the goalie with this team in front of you, like in any kind of good heads, because you're just like, what the fuck are we even doing here?
Like, at least you're gonna have some fun.
Yeah,
you're not gonna be bored.
So I don't know. Still forever love you, Jake Allen. I hope for the best for you. I hope you do get sent somewhere good at this deadline because he deserves it after all this. The reason why I'm not watching a lot lately, though, is I'm gonna give you the rundown on the bottom two, or no, actually, I'll say the top line as of last game. This was the top line.
Let's hear it.
Was Hoffman, Suzuki, Lehkonen. Then we had Drouin, Paling, Armia.
Oh boy.
Pizzetta, Perreault, Caulfield.
Fuck.
And Paquette, Dauphin, and Ylonen. Dauphin and Ylonen having just come up from our AHL team. Like literally just come up.
That's Caulfield on the third line.
I don't fucking know, man. He hasn't been playing that great. I don't know.
That first line sounds like it should be the first line. I mean, minus Lehkonen.
This okay.
Hoffman, Suzuki.
But here's the thing.
They're injured to holy hell right now too. Tyler Toffoli is out. Like as of a few days ago, he was going to be out for 8 weeks after hand surgery.
Darn.
A couple weeks back, I think Josh Anderson was going to be out for 4 to 6. So that's a little
I actually
ways
forgot
down,
he was there.
down the line. Joel Edmondson is still out. Uncertain timetable.
Dang,
Carey
man.
Price still hasn't played.
Yeah, he's on the ice.
Jeff Petrie is out fairly long term. I think.
Keep the faith in the one faithful in the back end. Your boy Ben Sherratt.
Yeah,
he's always gonna
be there for you. Big Ben.
He's playing so many minutes right now, and I hate it.
What about Savard though, dude? Savard got his ring. That was cool.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah.
He got his ring for the year that the Lightning beat the freaking Canadians in the Cup final. That's really exciting.
He assisted on the Cup winning goal, I believe.
He did with Colton.
It's just great. Yeah, that he was certainly the piece to get from that Cup team. That's for sure.
Dude should have gone for Colton. Oh, he was an RFA.
Should have gone for McDonough.
I don't know.
He's under contract still.
I'm not watching too much. I'm waiting for they said it's going to be like around or like maybe it was after or something like that. It was supposed to be by the end of the month. They're hoping to have a GM picked.
Oh, they're still without a GM.
Still don't have one. It's still just Gorton there. They said they're going to do the process and have a GM picked by the end of December.
So there's been like a because we all thought as soon as Bergevin was out, we thought there was going to be like a clean out of the team. So you think that's going to happen?
I wasn't really so sure like that. I mean, I think there's going to be players moved out. I think Jeff Gordon really wanted to come in and just give a sec to be like, all right, what do we have here in this shit pile?
Really need to inspect it. Go through that shit with tweezers.
A pretty shitty head coach.
I'm not going to lie.
You guys want to see what I wrote down? It's too bright.
I can't see.
I wrote down, when do they move on from Ducharme?
I hope. Well, he already made the mistake of saying in his first press conference that he's going to be here till the end of the season. I don't know if he should have said that.
Yeah, you can.
I guess you can still change your mind if it gets too much further down the line here, because I think their record right now is 6-20-3, if I remember correctly.
That is correct.
You can't. Yes, if you're in a rebuilding season, you're gonna, which they weren't even supposed to be doing this year, but like that's very clearly what they're probably going to pivot to. Yes, you're probably going to be losing a bit, but they're going out there and doing fucking they're not doing anything. It's just becoming like Oilers, Sabres light in terms of like Oilers in their old days of when they were shit.
Oh yeah,
and Sabres where it's just losing, not giving a shit, and just skating around. Like that's not productive for anybody in terms of like their younger guys that they want to actually have around and be good,
develop.
Yeah. So if it gets too much further like this, I think you have to kind of maybe make a change in decision with the whole Ducharme thing, because I don't think he's helping anything right now.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, who would have expected them to rebuild? Like a coach like DJ Smith for the Senators isn't going to be under the hot seat right now this season, having a losing team, because I think we all understand that they're still in the middle of a rebuild with so many young guys. But the Canadians kind of invested some money into some older guys to try and make a push. And
well, the big issue is that they lost three fairly important pieces over the summer after going on a insane run. So they brought expectations up, and then Danault's gone, Weber's injured, and Price is out dealing with personal stuff. So it's just like,
and Kotkaniemi's gone, Corey Perry's gone.
Talk about that. I don't know if you saw, but that tying goal in that game was Corey Perry.
Hey Ben, I have a question for you.
Pain. It's just pain.
If you become a Kraken fan, I'll also become a Kraken fan. Are you down?
You guys want to swap over?
It's just
no.
It's like the weird part of where I'm at right now is like, okay, they made the management change. They're very clearly probably going to go in a different direction after this season. But it's just like, we are so early in this season, and to already know that like literally none of this is going to matter. I'm just like,
chalk it up.
Chalk it.
Pack it in, boys. You're in for a long haul. Not do anything.
Back to Ducharme. I think a big part of the problem of what he's doing right now is he's very much clearly coaching to still like, he's making like we need to get these veteran guys in to have a better chance to win kind of. Like he's very clearly still coaching to win as if he's going to come back and make the playoffs, which I mean, yes, you should coach to win, but like also like this look at this team,
and also
start getting the younger guys into positions with some of those older guys. Like you need to be working guys in and like getting them in game situations, letting them learn and make mistakes when the games are not going to matter anyway. In
addition to that, we talked about the Isles having a hard time in the Metro making the playoffs. Take a look at the Atlantic.
Yeah,
the Atlantic's fucking insane right now.
The East in general is insane.
Is ridiculous.
Here, you guys want to know, in the league, the top 3 teams in the Atlantic are in the top 7 of the league. The Lightning are 7th.
That's pretty nutty.
Wow.
That's pretty nutty.
Yep.
Can you read off the Atlantic?
Top 7?
The way it sits.
Read
off the Atlantic first.
The Atlantic right now. Florida at 40 points. Toronto at 40 points. Florida's ahead because they have 4 games in hand.
Okay.
Tampa Bay with 38 points, so they're only 2 points behind. Then Boston. Oh boy, Boston at 30 points. So there's There's a bit of a drop from 3 to 4. Then Detroit right behind them. Then Buffalo,
Detroit.
Ottawa, Montreal. Yeah, Detroit's 1 point behind Boston. So
Detroit's having a season, yeah.
Yeah,
that's in the Atlantic. Let me look at the wild
And the
card.
Habs have 2 wins against them.
Yep. So right now, Pittsburgh and Boston are the 2 East wild cards. So the East is just it's going to be hard to make the playoffs in the East this year.
Yeah.
So
It seems. It seems.
Looking forward to whoever Jeff and Jeff decide to hire for GM.
Maybe that's what they needed to do. They needed a Jeff connection.
No, they're gonna find another Jeff. Too.
Okay, wait. So here's the question for you.
Cubed.
Not a super long answer. Dude, what about Vigneault? Is Vigneault French? His name would suggest he is.
No, we're not retreading. We're not doing this. We're not.
Wait, was he their coach before?
Yes, and if they bring back another coach, they've already had 2 times in my lifetime where they've brought back a coach. I'm not doing a third.
Was Michel one of them?
Michel and Claude. I'm not doing it again. I'm not.
Dude, bring Michel back 3 times the charm, dude.
No. of the 3, especially not him. Like super especially not him. Jesus.
Right.
I say all this and then they bring back fucking Jacques Martin probably. Fucking Christ.
No, dude, they don't make Wah the GM, they make Wah the coach. Yeah.
No. Let's not do that.
All right.
Stop giving me nightmares for later.
Mike Campbell.
Yeah.
In your sweet retro hat. Bring us into Tampa. Bring us into Tampa Bay.
So first of all, I did get this hat on Monday. Pretty sweet. I had 2020's champs hat and 2021's champs hat, and I was like, you know what? It'd be kind of cool if I had all 3 because they only have 3. So I looked on eBay, and here it was. Boom.
The group.
2004.
Yeah, that wouldn't be
Pretty
very
sick.
practical for me to do.
Yeah, you'd have to buy 24 hats.
I also think they
wouldn't even have
championship hats for 19 fucking
for 1920.
16, I think. 16, 17, I think was the first one.
Jesus.
25 hats that don't fit his head.
Only 24.
That's another.
Would have been 25 this past year.
Dude, yeah, I remember the drive for 25.
It's been a drive for a while.
It's been a long drive.
Oh no.
We're taking the scenic route.
But Tampa.
they're taking
really
they're taking the Taconic instead of 87. Those noobs.
Oh, sorry about that, boys. Yeah.
No,
I don't even think that was you.
No, I think it was my Google.
Your GPS, yeah.
Yeah, that's all right. We got there.
That was a weird highway.
It was.
It was so tiny.
It was skinny.
It's pretty shite.
It was shite as well. All right, so the Lightning had a road trip. They had a 5-game road trip. Obviously tame compared to the 13-game one that the Isles had. Yeah. But they were 4-1. They nearly swept. And you know what? It was my fucking fault. So they beat. So on the road trip, they beat the Blues, the Bruins. Then they came into Canada, beat Montreal, beat the Leafs. And then obviously we're shut out by Ottawa. And I jinxed it because I went to get pizza with Danielle and Nick before the game. And me and Danielle were in there waiting for it. And I was like, Danielle, the Lightning could sweep the road trip and Eastern Canada if they win today. And then they fucking lost.
Come on,
they didn't do that. I did. I really did. But listen, man, I didn't know they were gonna put Elliott in. No, I'm just kidding.
Well,
Elliott's
I
actually
saw him make a fucking sweet pad stack save at one point in that game.
Yeah, but fucking settle down and just block it with your body, man.
Nah, it's way more fun when they do that kind of shit.
Except for he's flying across the crease to do a stack save like that, and then the puck gets on the other side of the net, and they just
Nick knows, dude. Nick heard me talking about it. I'm like, he's so stressful in the net compared to Vasilevsky. Vasilevsky, granted, he's way bigger, but he doesn't.
Yeah.
He's very much like Price. He's just positionally really well.
Need the chaos, Mike. Some goalies need
okay,
chaos.
well, stop letting him in.
I thought he had done pretty well this year.
No, he's still doing okay. He had a really good game against Philly, but that's Philly.
His old stomping ground team.
He's all right.
Yeah.
He's all right. He's all right.
The question, you liking him more than McElhinney is the question.
I would say yes so far.
He's a more proven veteran.
But not super, not by a lot.
No, not by a lot. Not by a lot. Not by a lot. I would love for the Lightning to go and grab Allen at the deadline for a cup run.
Hey, Mike, how about this? How about we give you Varlamov and you give us a pick?
Okay, but also, Mike, how often
we can't fit that in? I don't think.
You never use a second goalie as Tampa,
not in the playoffs, but
an injury away.
That's the thing. We are a Vasilevsky somehow. I don't know how he hasn't been injured yet.
Yeah. Finding
I
some
don't
wood
know.
there. Yeah.
We're one Vasilevsky injury away from being in trouble.
Although, Mike, think about it. Remember when Ben Bishop was injured in 20? What year was that?
15, was it? Is that what you're talking about?
15, yeah. So I feel like Vasilevsky is one of those players in the playoffs that could play through an injury because he's so freaking big. All he has to do is be
just getting away.
Yeah,
I mean,
but that
maybe.
being said, obviously,
maybe.
you want
depends on the injury.
You want your goalie to play. Yeah, exactly. You don't want your goalie to play injured.
Because if it's anywhere on the inner legs, no.
Well, that's the thing is.
Also, how did Ben Bishop play with it? It wasn't a fucking torn.
It was a pulled groin. It was like a pulled torn groin. Yeah, it was. Whew.
Yeah.
I don't know. He didn't. He let in a bunch of goals, unfortunately, but it's not his fault.
And he hasn't played since.
And the thing with Vasilevsky is he's really good positionally, but he also you still see him needing to make these saves where he comes over.
It's like he has the positional stuff, but also just his sheer ability, which I've seen it with Price years and years ago, is to be able to just find ways to get to places.
He just knows where it's going too.
Where there's no good reason he should be able to do it, but he does anyway. He's nutty.
Another funny thing is, I don't know if you guys have ever seen this, but I think it's because he's so fucking tall. When he's being screened, he looks over top of the player. Yeah. He doesn't crouch down and look around them. He looks over top of them, and it's the funniest thing.
It is always a fun visual.
So Mike, so on the road trip, any players stand out to you? Is Radish? I know you mentioned Taylor Radish.
Oh, well, we had They had Taylor Radish got 2 goals last weekend in the back-to-back, and then he had, I think, one more this week. He's been doing really well, but he's also been getting top line minutes with all the injuries that have been happening.
Okay,
I can tell you who he doesn't like.
Who do I not like?
Cal Foote.
Fucking Cal Foote, man. Listen. Decent young player. The way that the league is going, he's too fucking slow. He is so slow. His skating speed is so slow. He's not fast enough for the league. He's just not.
And you're saying Pat Maroon is?
Listen, we can deal with a slow forward. We can't deal with a slow defenseman. We can't do it. It's different.
Yeah, slow defensemen are
different.
Not the best.
Yeah.
And Pat Maroon has some of the nuttiest hand-eye coordination I've ever seen. That dude picks pucks out of the air more than anybody else on the team.
You know why?
That happens when you played for fucking 50 years. He's been around forever.
He's a roller hockey dude.
Is he? Oh, that's it, dude.
Maroon plays roller. Dude, I'm roller.
Got to start playing roller.
Yeah, because the stees that guys have in rollers literally all just roller is let me hit every button on shell and see what happens. That's what offense is in roller hockey at a high level. Seriously.
I if there's ever a time I'm for some reason down near Long Island and you guys need a spare, I really want to just ring her in a game just for fun.
Yes.
Man, I want to
I would
fucking
hurt myself so bad, but I don't even care.
You'd be tired for sure.
I'd die.
Nick, I'd die.
I'm telling you right now, we could use a forward. We have a playoff game tomorrow.
Ooh, Benny?
So.
I don't think I can get there for tomorrow, but
it's at 9 p.m.
He's working at 9 p.m.
right in the middle of my shift.
Yeah.
Never mind.
So for an impressive player, it's my boy, Steven Stamkos, dude. He's here.
Turning back the clock.
This is
what is it, 2011?
This is his best
Ovechkin
start.
And Stamkos going right now?
This is his best start, I think, in 5 years. And you know what it is? It's the first summer he's had where he's not been injured. It's the first summer where he's not had to rehab an injury. He's just been able to focus on conditioning and strength and whatnot. So
And it also it boils down to, even before the Cups, Tampa was routinely going on runs to the Eastern Conference Final.
Oh yeah,
one Cup final. Like it's so many just long runs,
so much,
year after year.
So much wear and tear.
That's a lot, especially with what playoff hockey is.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense. Which is honestly not just very quickly. Like that's literally all of the Habs who are probably still dealing with stuff from that last playoff run and we're playing this year. Literally all of them, like Jeff Gordon's going like, no, surgery now. Surgery.
Do it right
surgery.
Now. Right
like,
now.
Time for surgery. But
yeah, dude. No, that's the same. It's the same thing with the Lightning, dude. Look at all the fucking people they have hurt.
Yeah,
There's a good chance those, like Kucherov's was a nagging injury from, I think, the Isles series last year.
Oh yeah, because there was a moment where he got like decked, and it was questioned whether he'd be in against the Habs.
It was bad. It was a bad cross check. That was a big
Scott Mayfield was like,
fucking Mayfield, dude.
All right.
He really did, like, hard. And I was like, no.
Yeah, no, it was literally like like this regular season this year. If a ref saw that, they'd be like, get out of the game.
That could
like,
be a game.
It
was a big like wind up and
Mayfield
smoke.
Was like, yeah, and he's 6'5" or whatever.
Bastard.
It's like, bro, you can't hide.
Yeah.
So all right, so you like Stamkos' performance on the road trip, and I mean just in general.
What a beast.
He's playing, yeah, nice. Any other notes from your road trip there?
Actually, yes. I think it was the Toronto game. It was either the Montreal game or the Toronto game. Was John Cooper's 400th win, and he is the fastest to 400 in history for a head coach.
Wow.
Which, I mean, it makes sense if you look at the teams he's been coaching. Yeah. They've been fucking insane.
Phenomenal.
Hence why he is Team Canada's coach. That's about the best one you can pick.
Cool.
He's annoyed me many a time, but dude, I do have to respect.
What a guy.
Yeah.
What a guy. That's all I got to say. Listen, you're going to have to cheer for him now, too.
So, Mike, is that all you got on Tampa?
Oh. Yes.
I got a comment about it. So, we can swing this into an ex-Tampa player.
Yeah.
We were talking about him a little bit earlier. Ben Bishop.
Yeah, Big Benny Bish.
That's where I was going to go next. You take it away.
This sucks,
you take
man.
No, go ahead. No, you're good.
Okay. Ben Bishop cannot play anymore due to his nagging knee injury. That's it. He has, I guess, made the decision. Nick, I don't know if you were reading about this. If you like the official, like, did he make the decision or did the team? Okay.
I think it was. I think it's partially him, partially the team, because. Okay. So what happened was he went on he was going on a conditioning stint in their the Stars AHL team.
Yeah.
And didn't he let in 8?
He got fucking lit up. He let in 8 for 8 out of 34. So
that's not great.
I think he probably realized in that game, feeling what he was feeling, he was probably like, okay, yeah, I can't play anymore.
And considering the fact that he hadn't played in
a bit,
he hadn't played since
he didn't play the first COVID season. He was
Did he not play since the?
It was since that break. It was since that COVID break. He had not played.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Ben, he didn't play.
Oh, it was before that. Oh yeah, it was Khudobin the entire time.
Khudobin was in that entire run. But yeah, wow. I have some career stats, as I always do for people when they're finishing their career. So he's obviously ending his career. He played with my Lightning. From the 12-13 season to the 16-17 season, which is 4 seasons about-ish, probably, if you add up the partial seasons. In that time, he had 227 games played, 131 wins, 64 losses, 921 save percentage, and a .283 goals against average.
Wow.
Interestingly enough, his best season was actually a couple years later in 18-19 with the Dallas Stars. He had like a 929 save percentage or something ridiculous with them.
Yeah.
Could you imagine the GM? I assume you guys had the same GM back then.
Yzerman. It was Yzerman back then.
So could you imagine the stones on Yzerman to say, okay,
the reason this game,
Ben, you're going to go. We're going to pull this young guy back in. While he was still playing good. Yes,
he was still
had
good.
That nagging groin shit that went on all the time, but like, he was still good.
The reason the Lightning are as good as they are is because Yzerman's got some huge balls.
Well, it's also, I mean, it's not even, it's like, it's the fact they manage and develop players extremely well. And they got to the point where Vasilevsky, they were like, yeah, this clearly is the option, and can confidently be like, all right, it's Ben Bishop. He's been great, but he's kind of,
he's on his way out.
So you got the option.
Dude,
what's it like to have that kind of clarity?
The amount
in front offices,
the amount of times I hear like Steve Dangle and those guys on that podcast,
Did you just have a stroke?
Podcast talk about like how good the Leafs development is. I'm like, you guys don't even know.
Also, is it?
I don't know. I think it's all right. I mean, it's nowhere. Listen, it's nowhere near the Lightning's level. The Lightning right now have like 5 of their main guys out, and they're still winning.
Penguins are always really good with that.
Yeah,
too.
They beat the Leafs.
Yeah.
Without their star guys.
Yeah.
Like, if that doesn't tell you how good their development is, it's, I can't help you.
I think Jesse was even like, they were talking about that, and because they were like, oh, Marner was out, and Jesse was like, yeah, but like Marner versus Point
Kucherov,
Cirelli, right? Cirelli or Chernak. What's
Cirelli was out, and Chernak was out. They fucking have so many people out, dude.
And you're still just do it because they're fucking Tampa, because they're well run, and yeah.
Syracuse, baby.
What's it like to always know that, like, if a guy gets injured, you're still probably gonna be fine?
Well,
is that nice? Is it comforting?
It's pretty comforting. There's 2 people that if they get injured, we're in trouble. Victor Hedman and Andrei Vasilevsky. Those are the 2.
Yeah. Is your decor is pretty good?
No, the decor is good, but Hedman's just such a large part of it, and there's so few pieces, and defense is such an important position anyway.
Right. Yeah, and so like Hedman, I mean, this might be obvious, but I would say losing Hedman would be preferable over losing Vasilevsky.
Oh, absolutely.
That would be far more recoverable, but yeah,
100%.
It wouldn't be something you'd want to have happen.
You still got Ryan McDonough.
Yeah, MacD.
Team
USA, please.
You wanted him out of town in the summer. What are you talking about,
I
Mike?
didn't want him out of town, but I thought that he should have been the one to go. He should have been the one to go. We should have kept my boy Yanni.
All right, boys, real quick, just to end the Ben Bishop conversation.
Oh, this time it was my fault. Damn it.
Okay, no, it's okay. Ben Bishop. So, best of luck. And I mean, it's a retirement, but it's obviously an early one. So it sucks to see. I just want to say Ben Bishop always had the sweetest. I follow a goalie page on Instagram. Ben Bishop always had the neon paint job on his goalie mask.
It was the Tron. It was the Tron style.
Always the sweetest thing ever. He carried that over to Dallas, and I remember, that Dallas season when he had one of his best seasons. The Blues, that was the team, the streaking hot Blues. Pat Maroon beat the Dallas Stars Game 7 OT, I think, or Game 6 OT.
I think it was.
But Ben Bishop had a hell of a playoff run, and that is the last time I really remember watching him play. And obviously, incredible goalie to watch. All the best in whatever you do next, Ben.
Yep. And also, just to cap it off,
no problem.
Just to cap it off. His career finals were .921 save percentage and .232 goals against. That's pretty freaking nuts.
That's really bad.
And then he had a Stanley Cup final in 2015 with the Lightning, and then a bunch of conference finals. And then obviously they were I think they were 2 wins away from the Cup in that year. I think it was Game 6 they lost. But what are you gonna do, Benny?
Yeah.
Thank you for all your years of service. I want a jersey. I want a Ben Bishop jersey.
Yeah,
might have to look for one.
It felt strange that entire time. It felt like that Friends episode where Ben gets born and they're all looking at Ben.
Oh yeah,
that's a really strange scene to watch with my.
That shit kills me when Chandler's like, and if I do this, and he does all this like shit with his ear, and he's like, that means steal third. That kills me. All right, so you guys want to talk? We can. Does anybody have to pee first of all? Because I think we're gonna get in a long one here.
So, but one last thing before Olympic break or before Olympics.
PP break.
Is, can we talk about how an NHL team almost got booted out of their own arena?
What?
Did you miss that Arizona Coyotes story?
So
I didn't hear about that at all.
So here's the thing: the Steve Dangle podcast covered that extensively, and we already have 4 Olympic rosters to go through.
I don't want to go through it too long.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
But
yeah, explain it because I don't.
Came out. I think it was like towards the beginning of this week where the team was behind on I think both rent and taxes.
Oh,
they just hadn't been paying it for a while.
Oh,
and then the next day they came out and were like, in a public statement, they were like, we're not really sure. It was just a massive human error. We're gonna get it paid. It's gonna be fine. And then if I remember correctly, they paid the taxes but still haven't paid rent. Maybe they did. I'm not sure. And then like the next day, Gary Bettman gets asked about it, and he's like, "There's no problem with Arizona, but we'll deal with it tomorrow." Was something along the quote. So like, there very clearly is a problem in Arizona, but like it was just a whole friggin' mess of everything. And yeah. So Arizona.
I gotta. No, we won't get into it, but I gotta assume they're leaving. They got to go somewhere else. They got to go to a new city. Atlanta.
I mean, like,
third time's the charm.
I don't really ever want it because, like, moving a team sucks. Because as bad as they've been at times, and as like middling as like attendance probably has, there's surely a base of people who have like grown to be dedicated Coyotes fans and have been there a while.
That's true.
And have been doing things. But like, yeah, at some point, you gotta be like, hey, come on, like, what are we doing here?
And they got to stay in Arizona for Austin Matthews to join. To break. And we're back. All right, boys. So we're back from our break. The Canucks just poof, the whole front office and the coach as well.
Deserving.
Fuck, everybody's out. And Boudreaux's in. And maybe Rutherford.
Yeah, Jim Ruffin, he is.
Is he confirmed?
Anyway, I think. Yeah, that's been confirmed. He's going to be president. I think.
That was well needed.
I think it's kind of a similar situation as what Jeff Gorton's doing in Montreal.
Okay.
Basically, it seems like they're going to hire somebody, but he's just sort of righting the ship as they're working on it.
Okay.
But that feels like the most. It felt very overdue. Like with Mark Bergevin.
It was
like,
time.
It felt like. And even more so, because like at least Mark Bergevin did some things.
At least
like the thing that I argue about I like the Canucks a little bit too because I have a bias on a couple players. Yeah. They have good players on that team.
Yeah,
they have more
man.
than the Canadians, and they weren't doing shit.
Yeah,
they brought in OEL this year to bolster the back end, and he hasn't done anything.
See, now here's the thing. When we were going over that, I liked that move because I thought he was going to help Quinn Hughes. I thought he was going to be better than, just a orange pointy thing out on the ice. But it turns out that's what he's been. I thought he was going to be better. And so I was Connor
Garland.
He's actually been okay. He's actually been pretty good.
That was the far better part of the trade. I don't know if I would have given him that contract immediately after trading him and then put yourself in the spot where you're going to be fucking around with Pettersson and Hughes until later. Like
it was, I thought when I saw those moves, I was like, they got rid of 3 bad contracts, replaced it with, questionably 2 bad contracts. I thought that was going to be good. I didn't think OEL was going to be that bad.
The one thing was most of those guys that got sent out, like the bad contracts, were just for this year.
I didn't know that either. That's why
after this year,
I didn't know that.
I don't know if it was all of them, but it was at least like a couple of them would have just been done.
Roussel and the Eriksson contracts would have been up.
I thought it was all 3, but either way, they were getting some cap space at the end of the year.
Yeah, so I would argue with the years left, you're gonna have still a fucking what's his face, the defenseman we were just talking about, him. Yeah,
Ekman Larsson.
That's rough, but that makes sense. That's probably why he's out. It was Jim Benning. He had not made sense for a while. Like I was saying, like Mark made some moves every once in a while. Like Jim Benning, like just every time it's like anything aside from drafting like Pettersson, Horvat, Hughes, and Besser. Which admittedly,
damn, that's a good drafting.
That's but it's like you see those, and like I think if I remember correctly, like they've hit on like nobody in like the second, third, fourth, like any other rounds. Which fair, like you don't often do, but like you don't
always get a nice point.
You gotta hit on some of them. Like you gotta do something outside of the first round, and it's like I feel as though his first round, like admittedly very good ones, but also ones he has input on with everybody else.
It's over.
Those are like they kind of overshadow his other picks.
His first round successes are overshadowed by his absolutely terrible free agent signings.
Oh my God, yeah! Every July 1st, it was like, dude, what are you doing?
I'd like to hear from Rick on this. I feel like part of the Canucks issue was, and it could have been the coach, was Pettersson. Pettersson's been just not what he needs to be.
He hasn't had a good year.
No. I mean, so he has what?
Said.
No, he has how many goals did he have going into this week? 2?
It can't be much more than that, dude.
Yeah.
Also, leading up to when Travis Green got fired, though, he was getting played in like third line minutes.
That's true.
What are you doing with him on the?
That's very.
That's
true.
the other thing I'm going to say. Even when your team is struggling, like a guy who's on the team to score goals should be given the time on the ice to score the goals. Maybe
that would did it with Bobby Ryan. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be honest, I
different players, but same situation.
Yeah, I haven't been following the Canucks that much, but JT Miller again is just like the only Canuck that like I've seen do anything relevant.
Holy shit! He's actually doing okay.
Yeah, he's got pretty decent stats this year.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he had that much.
But Pettersson, I don't know what because obviously he's still a young player, but I definitely think a coaching change is going to be good. But it's Pettersson. I don't know. It's the same thing when your team's going through some. Like you said, Nick, they have good players. Pettersson is obviously a talented player. Give him a chance to get his shit back together, essentially.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but Boudreau was with the Capitals
at one point in time. He's been with a lot of teams. He's been a really good regular season coach for a very long time.
See, so
his thing is he has a really bad reputation of never winning game 7s. He was the guy who coached against the Habs in that Halak year.
Oh, okay.
There was that. He had a couple times in Anaheim where he flubbed some game 7s.
My point.
Never really got there with Minnesota. But anyway, what was your point?
My point is Washington for a very long time because of Ovechkin has been a very good offensive team. So it makes me think that Boudreau might be good with the offensive players.
Oh, I have every.
So if he can kickstart that shit,
I expect him to super like lean on, like he's gonna lean into Pettersson real hard, like giving him like the positions he needs to be,
which is good. Yes,
which is the way you turn a player like that around. Like he's not. Elias Pettersson is not gonna learn anything or get any. Like he's not gonna get any motivation from me. Like yes, third line, shut him down, sir. Well, like, what are you paying him for? Like, what do you like? It's Elias Pettersson. Like, he might be struggling. He's not gonna get better at scoring from fucking third line minutes. I don't.
Yeah.
There's 4 really good pieces of offense on that team that they should be better than what they are, and like I feel bad for them because like their back end struggles obviously. And then you have a guy like Thatcher Demko, who is a very good goalie.
He's
pretty much gets hung out to dry because his defense sucks.
Yeah, he's trying his best.
Like,
well, good to wrap it on the Canucks. I think the reason why they have all that crazy forward talent and still aren't great is because all of those free agency contracts around them have made it basically impossible to build out a team every year, and that's
true.
Probably the reason why Jim Benning's gone.
Yep.
There you go. Thanks, Benny.
There we go.
There it is.
Another firing. Alain Vigneault, past and future head coach of the Montreal Canadiens.
Going back.
No.
Was fired.
They only have a couple.
Was fired.
It was funny though. I think it was a joke on Steve Dangle podcast. Was all he needed to get to the Stanley Cup Finals was one of the best goaltenders in history.
Oh yeah.
Rick Lundqvist.
Yep.
But no, he least inspiring choice. No, 10,000 times no.
And that is also what the Flyers said. They booted him. The Flyers were 8, 10, and 4 before he left. Also going back to the Canucks real quick. Since they're 3-0-0 since Boudreau took over. So
yeah, I thought they knew they were doing well.
But yeah, the Flyers were 8, 10, and 4 before he was fired. And I guess Mike Yeo is one of the assistants, and he's taken over for now. Which sounds like he might finish the year out, but I don't know.
That was the guy who got fired from St. Louis before they went on their run. Where he did an interview right before he got fired. He was like, "Yeah,
if we don't start winning, I'm gonna get fired.
I'm gonna get fired." And then guess what happened?
He got fired, and then they started winning.
The funniest fucking things. It was sad.
That's
him,
unfortunate.
Sure.
That's very
really
unfortunate.
But it's just such a fucking funny.
From a timing thing, that's fucking funny, man. But we can't really say much on that because I don't think any of us have been paying attention to the Flyers.
I have not paid attention.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. The Islanders obviously had that 11-game losing streak. The Flyers had a 10-game losing streak, and no one cared or was paying attention to it.
I didn't even know that. I didn't either.
Yep, abysmal hockey.
There's been a lot of fucking losing streaks this year.
Yeah,
it's been a weird season. It's been
Islanders did it.
It's like
everybody's doing it.
It's like
there's not really many in betweeners. You kind of are good, or you just fucking suck.
That's what I was about to say. It's very odd. You got all the
Boston even had a skid there too. That's why they're
8 points behind the Bolts. Yeah, that's right.
It's weird.
Well, guys,
anyway,
bring it in.
The next thing,
bring it in,
and we're going to talk about it.
Goal of the year,
Sonny Milano. My boy, Sonny Milano. I want to start off by saying this.
It's Eric's boy.
We've all seen it by now. Trevor Zegras, goal of the year. But here's the thing, guys. Trevor Zegras goal. No. Trevor Zegras assist of the year. Sonny Milano hit the puck out of midair. All right.
Yeah,
so stop disrespecting my boy, Sonny Milano. Yeah,
he must feel so shitty. The Zegras goal. I hit it, guys. Come on.
You know what? I don't think he does.
Didn't score the goal. Zegras didn't score the goal.
I don't think he does feel bad because I think he's hype for his boy Trevor Zegras.
Yeah,
because that was sick.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, it was ridiculous. I say that half jokingly, but Zegras with the assist of the year. Fakes the Michigan essentially and throws the puck over the net. And Sonny Milano, whose hand-eye coordination I did see in person, it's very darn good, was able to ward off 2 people in front of the net. And I mean, not only did he hit it out of the air, but I mean, this is the thing. Obviously the assist was ridiculous, but Milano,
being able to do that,
he hit it hard out of the air. He didn't chip it and flub it. He freaking smacked it under the goalie's arm.
He hit it full. He hit it full on.
Well, the thing too. So it was against Buffalo, right? The Buffalo defense did not did not go after him behind the net.
They
just let him fucking cool around back there.
I rewatched that too. Asplund was that was Milano was his guy from what I could tell.
Yes.
He was the one right behind him. He could have just as easily literally just passed it straight to Milano and it would have been a tap in if he'd gone to because they weren't even covering him. He was literally just standing in front of the net. I don't know what Buffalo was doing, but I'm so happy it went differently because that was fucking awesome.
It was cool.
So I'm just gonna say this. When you're a defenseman, you see someone start to try to Michigan it definitely freezes you for a split second, and that's all it needs. By the time you throw the puck over, it happens fast.
Yeah.
It happens really fast.
And you got to think as well that Milano was yelling it.
He was.
So what do you do when one of the people on the other team's like, Michigan, Michigan, Michigan? You just look at him is he gonna do it? And you just are you almost want to watch him do it.
and then you see the puck on his stick in a split second, the ease at which Zegras just curls it up. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's the other thing. How long before we start seeing Michigan's
I don't think you're ever
on
gonna
the
see
reg
it again this year. I don't think you'll see it again.
Oh no, I think it's gonna be the further we go on. I think you're gonna see more because like guys are trying it all the fucking.
This
time.
is what I think's gonna happen. I think you're gonna start to see it more often, and then someone's gonna get their fucking head taken off trying to do it, and then you're gonna stop seeing it as much. Because if you start doing that. That's open season on your ass, and you're gonna get smoked.
You have to pick your spot. That's for sure.
You can't pick the puck without looking down. I don't think
it's hard. It'd be very difficult to do that without.
The professionals, they could pick it, but like to really get it where they need it to go to do that play.
I've done that kind of thing.
Your spot.
I've done that kind of thing with where you push down on it and flip it over. You got to look down at it. Obviously, professionals, it's different, but I don't see a way where you
Some
do
of them
that
are good
on
enough
field.
to like literally get it first try real quick though. So it'll be you have to pick your spots. But
did you guys
the whole take your head off thing can transition well to what I was gonna get mad at was John Tortorella going on ESP fucking N.
I was just gonna ask about
that he was like, well, I don't want to sound like a fool here, but I don't know if this is good for the game.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
because he's like, I'm used to playing hockey. It's a good, honest game. Most times you should get your head taken off if you try to do something like that. Like he was like,
he's off. He said
if you go back to the 90s or 2000s, you'd get your head taken off for doing something like that.
You get railed.
And he's like, I don't know. He's like, I know it's fancy or whatever and fun, but it's not hockey to me or something like that. And then I think he added that if a player on his team did that, he'd have a talk with them after the game about not doing it again. And I'm like, fucking A, man.
Fuck up, Torts.
Now listen, I like Torts because he's for what he's gotten out of the teams he's coached. He's one of the best coaches.
Yeah. He can
in the NHL when he was coaching.
I feel like everything about him wears after a while.
His ways don't seem to last too long.
Yeah, but he can do something for a couple of years. That's for sure.
He's about as far off the mark there as you can possibly be. I wrote it down. I wrote it down here. I put Zegras very good for the game of hockey. Is literally what I wrote down because
literally you can share that to anybody, like anybody who has never seen hockey before, and you can watch them do it and be like, holy fuck, like what
and also
how many times has that been shared? Like I'm just like, how is that a take?
And another thing,
jealous.
Another thing, the classic hockey interview. I love it when Steve Dangle does that, his thing of John Tavares, when he's like, he sits back and he does that stupid shit. But it's so true. They sit there and they answer it in like the most bland terms. I don't know if you guys saw it, but the interview after the game, the interview after the game he had with the guy in between the glass guy, or the inside the glass, whatever the fuck they call it now.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
He was so entertaining in that interview. He was like having an actual conversation with the guy. He was like, I saw you I was getting coffee this morning. I saw you. And I was like, it was so entertaining to watch. And that's just such a new thing for NHL players to be. And I'm very excited.
How low is the bar that like a guy having an interaction being like, oh yeah, I saw you at the coffee shop is like,
it's very, look, it's clearly it's low. Clearly it's low. But
now my question.
And he's USA, so fucking booyah.
Yeah, Nick.
So back to my question: is it goal of the year?
No.
So what?
I think the two goals that are up for goal of the year.
What's over that? Fucking McDavid.
Is the McDavid fucking
McDavid's two? Yeah,
he's got two up there.
Or this. And I think the McDavid one still stands out because that's not.
You're
there's
right.
only a minuscule amount of players that can do that. Him. And maybe Patrick Kane.
So
however, this was fucking awesome.
That was awesome. But if they had a thing such as called the play of the year,
yes,
I would say that would take it. Like the duo there is sick.
Yeah.
Like both of those.
To do that and just like have it pull like succeed, like that's
ballsy,
so
bro.
Nuts.
And also the best part about it, and this will be the last thing, Zegras' reaction.
Yeah,
So good.
Unreal,
He's
yeah.
just like he didn't even
Yeah.
fucking believe it. That's like the most like I can't believe that just happened thing like face I've ever seen. And it was so
fun
good.
because I think McDavid did the same thing after his cut through the whole Rangers thing too. Like he was like, "What?"
He did. He was like,
I love moments where players are just amazed by themselves. Like,
oh,
holy shit.
it's so good, dude. It's so good. But
Yeah.
let's bring it in here. Actually, Rick, what do you have to say on all that? I know you started it, but we didn't really get to hear what you really thought about it.
Oh my god, no, it was just absolutely ridiculous. I mean, one of the first things I noticed, I think you guys know Michael B. Jordan, obviously, actor.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Played who did he play in Black Panther? I forget.
Played
Killmonger.
Killmonger, the cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He shared the video and he was like, I don't watch hockey much, but this was ridiculous.
Ooh, there we go.
And
There it is.
I'm gonna be like,
there you go.
Yeah,
It's like a moment like that.
Yeah,
right there.
And that's what I'm saying. So like I've never seen a hockey play gain that much traction on social media in a while.
Just from a random.
Ridiculous.
When's the last time like a random like fairly like not like high like popular celebrity tweet about hockey?
Yeah.
Like and like
never happened.
Oh,
nobody gives a shit about hockey. Like so yeah. Oh yeah, this goal that literally is getting shared like fucking crazy. Yeah, it's terrible. I fucking John Tortorella.
Yeah, no. Another thing.
Yeah.
Trevor Zegras that's a good looking dude right there. That is a good looking. That's a good looking kid.
He's got the flow.
He's got flow.
All right.
Danielle's nodding behind my monitor.
Wrister and a half in Hut too. I like him in Hut.
Another thing. The last thing I want to say about this, guys. Also, Sonny Milano and Trevor Zegras are both American players, and that is really awesome.
Are they both Long Island guys too? Or
USA.
No?
No, Zegras is not. Zegras is not.
Isn't.
Milano is. Yeah. Zegras.
I was thinking of somebody else. Oh, it was Adam Fox's.
Adam Fox is Islander, but he's a traitor.
Long Islander playing for the Rangers. Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
I mean,
I think he grew up a Rangers fan.
Fans. There are Rangers fans on Long Island.
Listen. There's more and more every day.
Yeah.
Oh, there's tons of Rangers. Dude, the Islanders were bad for so many years.
Yeah.
Everyone like I went to school with wore Rangers jerseys, and then you were like. As of recently, it's like, wait, you're an Islander fan? I went to high school. I never would have known that. Yeah, they're all,
I thought I saw some Rangers shirts before.
No, your eyes start to squint.
They were wearing. No, it's not even they were wearing Ranger shirts. They were wearing nothing. I didn't even know they liked hockey. Yeah. It was like, oh, what? But Trevor Zegras, Sonny Milano, you two are beauties. Keep it up.
Beauties, boys. And you know what?
Also, Sonny Milano, tomorrow at 9 p.m., there's a playoff game. If you're not busy. we could
listen. Fly in from Cali.
I don't know if I feel like there might be some contract issues with that, but
yeah.
Also, so Trevor Zegras, future member of what team, gentlemen?
You think he's gonna do? Yeah,
Team
probably.
USA, but not this year.
Not this year. I doubt.
Yeah.
You think so? Wait, I gotta look at what do you got for forwards? Because I honestly can't.
You're not gonna comment on my forwards yet.
Team USA. Nick, run us through your team.
All right. So I know like Canada, there's a lot of forwards, but specifically there are way more defensemen to pick from.
Yeah.
To come up with a good roster.
And goalies.
The three that were confirmed on the 55-man roster are Seth Jones, Austin Matthews, Patrick Kane. So when I was putting this together, Mike's like, "Oh, leave Seth Jones off of it." I was like, "Dude, I can't.
He can't.
He's
really can't."
in the report saying that he's going on that team. So my I'll just do my. I'll do.
You could just do the thing I sent.
You want me to do it by line? Are you going to show this graphic right now?
I am. Do the thing I sent. Use the thing I sent.
So
that's what I'm doing. I just have it up on my phone.
What we talked about, the way I built these lines, we put Austin Matthews as first line center with Alex DeBrincat and Patrick Kane.
Chicago line mates.
Yep. Line 2, and I'm sorry about this pick. This one's a personal bias because I like the guy. I don't know if he'll go. I bet you Brock Nelson goes in his place, maybe. But Vincent Trocheck, Matt Tkachuk, and TJ Oshie on the second line. I like Trocheck. He's a good center. He plays third line center for the Carolina
Hurricanes. The Hurricanes.
Carolina. He's in Carolina.
So he's a third line center. I don't know if he's good enough. But
I mean, I think he could make the team. I think Dylan would be up higher.
We originally had that like that. I don't like Dylan Larkin, so I said fucking bump him.
Wow.
Put him down to
Really?
third line. This is Nick.
So,
This is
my
Nick's
third line-
GM. This is Nick's GMing team.
Also, the Kachuk brothers are going to go together. They're going to, and I think they might play
will.
on the same line.
I think they will.
But
They totally
I have
could.
them put up right now. So I have my third line: Brady Kachuk, Dylan Larkin, Brock Besser. I have 3 actually Canucks. How bad the Canucks are, I have 3 Canucks that are going to go on that team. First of them being Brock Besser. So there's that.
Who's third?
JT Miller. He's my third isn't on the list, but I'll explain to you.
I know who it is
and then the
too.
fourth line is Johnny Hockey, JT Miller, Sam Reinhart. Now I didn't originally have Sam Reinhart.
Yeah, you know who he had
in a
instead?
starting lineup. I had Blake Wheeler as a starting.
Yeah, and I was
winger.
like, what?
Stop. I like Blake Wheeler. It was a preference pick again. Like I'm sure you ran into with Team Canada, and I'm gonna question you on them when we get there. There's plenty of guys to pick from, and I think these guys are gonna go anyway. But like, I like Blake Wheeler more. I know Sam Reinhart's good, but I said to Eric while we were on break, I told Mike to swap out Blake Wheeler on this line because Blake Wheeler had a pretty nasty injury yesterday. So
Yeah, it looked
I
unfortunate.
don't know if he's gonna even be ready to go. So
yeah,
I benched him.
It looked highly unfortunate.
Now my defense.
This is where the U.S. shines, gentlemen.
So
yes, they're
the
ridiculous.
offense is good. I think we can all agree the offense is very good.
Yeah, probably second,
The USA defense,
maybe third.
the USA back end in general is where they're good. So defense, first pairing, Adam Fox, Zach Rensky. Ooh. Second pairing, John Carlson, Charlie McAvoy.
Yeah,
I like the first 2. I don't like half of the third one.
Dude,
Which half?
McDonough, man.
Seth Jones.
Put him in.
Okay.
No, I know, like I know it's like
You kind of have to,
know.
yeah.
But like,
So this is where I had a problem with the defense. I had Seth Jones, Alec Martinez as the last pair. There are 4 other American defensemen that could be on this team.
you probably
Ryan
would
McDonough.
want to have over them.
So Ryan McDonough, Jacob
Ooh, yeah.
Trouba, Quinn
Trouba.
Hughes, and Jacob Slavin.
I forgot
who are all
about Quinn
having
Hughes.
Very
Jacob
good season.
Slavin, yeah.
Jacob Slavin. I was like, how do I pick this? There's only 6 people to pick, but there's fucking 10 of them.
I mean, they are going to have spare defense.
They will have spares, yes, but for
We were just doing
the case
live.
of this,
Yeah.
we wanted just 3 pairs.
And then as my goalies, I had Connor Hellebuck, Jack Campbell, and in my head, I think okay, your third goalie is obviously Thatcher Demko. So
yeah.
And based on this year, I could totally see Jack Campbell being the number 1. Based on
He's
this year.
had a strong year. Connor Hellebuck, though,
It's
is
Connor Hellebuck's the
Connor
better
Hellebuck's
one.
has a good team in front of him. He's kind of like fuck you mode. Like
True.
he's
That's
same
very true.
vein as Vasilevsky and Price in their like
That's very
finest
true.
moments. Like he's got it.
I
He
have a
pissed me
question
the
for
fuck
you,
off
Nick.
last year, I will say.
I have a question for you, Nick. Did you consider John Gibson at all for goaltending?
Oh shit!
No,
I
he's
forgot about John
I
Gibson.
didn't because he's been hurt so much.
Oh,
He has gotten hurt a couple times this year.
Terrible third option.
He's
On my-
been the back
on my
end for
fantasy
Team USA
team.
for how many Olympics that they've played in, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
he's just I don't remember when he played last. So it's like
I'm gonna be honest.
you're
with
gonna
you.
use an active goalie.
Oh yeah, sorry, Mike. You're gonna say
He has played because I have him on my fantasy team. He has played, but he has had a couple of he has taken a couple weeks off here and there for must be some kind of nagging injury. So
I love. I'm gonna be honest. I just love Jack Campbell and Thatcher Demko. I like that you have them because like it's their first Olympics. Like that's cool. Like give the boys a shot.
Give them a shot, boys.
Campbell's playing some of the best hockey of his career. Demko's a young guy who's finally made a name for himself. Like heck yeah, get him up.
I agree
Hellebuck's
with
a great
you guys.
goalie to learn from.
And I agree with you guys. Like Seth, I don't know. There's a couple guys in the forwards that you could sub out. And like there's obviously other guys to pick from. Like Brock Nelson. Defense, like we said, there's 4
there's
others.
just a
Seth
bunch of
Jones is-
different.
I know we don't.
picks.
None of us like Seth Jones this year, but like you're not gonna run a completely green like non-ever. I know. Has Seth Jones ever gone to one?
No.
Yeah, no.
Well, never mind.
Uh,
But he's still more experienced than like Quinn Hughes. So it's like
now obviously we've all with the exception of me and Nick, obviously, because we discussed this last night. The other two of you are just, you've had like a glance at this. Is there anything you would maybe change just off of a glance, other than Seth Jones?
Really bad at I'm really bad at thinking, what are USA forwards?
Dude, well, USA and Canada, they're so similar, and like most, like other than Quebec, it's the same language. The names are the same. It's so hard to differentiate.
So Mike and
sometimes.
I looked at the amount of the guys that play
guys that aren't on this Team USA. Like I'm trying to think of like any other.
Maxi Pad, yeah.
I think he might get on there.
I saw that him not having him on, and I was like,
he generally gets on there. He usually gets on that roster to then just get entirely misused every time.
So it's funny, like
no Sonny Milano.
Over half of the forwards play on Canadian teams on that roster.
Wow, really? Yeah. Oh yeah, look at that.
They do. There's so many.
Matthews, Tkachuk,
both Tkachuks.
Tkachuk, Besser, good. Johnny Gaudreau, JT Miller, two lines.
I'm gonna be honest with you. The only thing I would change maybe is just for funsies, get Zegras in there. I know he's still a kid, and that's probably not gonna happen. But
I think you can get Zegras in there as one of your spares.
Yeah, I'd say get Zegras. That's about it, though. I don't want Nelson to go. I don't want Nelson to go because the Isles are just a shit show this season.
Eric still just wants no Isles to go to the Olympics.
Yeah, I'd rather him say. That being said, if he gets selected, like heck yeah, Brock. He's never been to guys. I remember Brock Nelson when he was a rookie. Like if you told me he would be making an Olympic team, I'd be like, get out of here. So good for him if he does. That's honestly. True. But that's about it. That's the only thing I would change.
Would either of you or any of you think about? And obviously, the dude's having just a bummer of a year. But Cole Caulfield?
Oh, no.
No.
I'll tell you right now, no.
Okay. Even with the Canadians misusing him, you don't think on an Olympic team where they use him right?
No, it's they're not using him the best, but like also he just hasn't been he hasn't been the best. He's had his struggles. I no.
Okay. Interesting. So Trevor Zegras and Sonny Milano.
Yep.
Because they need to play on the same line now from now until forever.
I was going to say that's the only. That's true, actually. Maybe Zegras will be like, I'm not going to the Olympics unless you give me Sonny.
Yes, dude. Please, that would be so funny.
That would be funny.
All right, well, let's move on. But before we move on, if you want to see these teams, we got 4 forward lines, 3 D pair, and 2 goalies. Over on our Instagram at the 5th LP. It's on the screen right here-ish. But go check it out. We're going to be posting all those probably tomorrow. This will be posted Monday, so look for it on Tuesday. But yeah, let's move on. Who wants to go next? We got who wants to go next? Benny, you want to do Canada? We just did USA.
Oh, sure.
So we'll move on to Team Canada. This was Benny's assignment for the week.
I will say this is I sort of played this a little bit of like what I think they'll do, kind of did some of my own choices. But the part of it of what I think they're going to do is what I have as the first line, because this has been their first line forever and ever. Amen. For the last few international competitions. And they seem to just really like it. And it's done very well for them.
That's a good fucking line, man.
Brad Marchand, Sidney Crosby, Patrice Bergeron up first. And then right behind it, I have a line that I think is just as good. And it also will probably happen because Canada very regularly uses they'll take there's 12 forwards. They'll have 6, 7, 8 centers, 6, 7, 8 centers, and just a few wings. My second line I have is Nathan McKinnon, Connor McDavid, Mitch Marner. And I think this is something that Steve Dangle might have said in one of his, where they're both basically first lines, and the situation will depend. It'll depend on which one gets used as that.
You've got an offensive line,
a big old bunch of goals. McKinnon, McDavid, Marner. Yep. If you are already up a goal or two, or maybe it's a defensive type game and you need to get one, maybe 2, then Brad Marchand, Sidney Crosby, Patrice Bergeron.
Because all three of those guys are they're sick offensively, but man, those guys can lock it down too.
Yeah. So they're pretty solid top two. Third line, I have Jonathan Huberdeau, Braden Point, and Mark Stone, because Braden Point's injured currently, but he'll be back, right? He's already most of the way through his injury by now, isn't he? He's been out for a couple weeks.
Who?
Right? Point.
Oh, I think it was. We were looking at 5 or 6 weeks, and he's been out for like 3 or 4. So yeah. Hopefully he'll be back in the next. couple weeks.
I think he'll make that team. And then, Jonathan Huberdeau, Braden Point, Mark Stone.
Imagine having Braden Point on your third line.
The fourth line, I have Steven Stamkos. I got on there because fucking the year he's having.
Yeah.
John Tavares, because he's also just been solid this year. And John Tavares. Fourth line center, John Tavares. Yeah. Oh no.
Amazing.
Listen, I'm pretty sure.
All day.
Okay, no, keep going.
And then, just to finish off the fourth line, Andrew Mangiapane, for similar reasons to Steven Stamkos, was holy fuck this year.
They're going off.
Scoring a big old bunch of goals.
So I'm pretty sure, and Stamkos was trying to get Tavares to Tampa in his free agent year, was he not?
Yes.
Was that a thing?
I think that was a thing, and because I'm pretty sure they were buddies from back in the day.
They've been Team Canada buddies for forever. I don't know if they ever played junior together. They might. I honestly don't know, because Stamkos was Sarnia Sting. Thinks Tavares was London. So
do you want to know the weird?
I might be wrong on that, but
Benny, the weird hockey bromance is PK Subban and John Tavares. They played juniors together. That's the.
What about PK Subban and Stamkos played fucking minor hockey together?
Midget hockey or whatever the fuck. They both played in Toronto.
That's funny, dude.
So
where's PK?
Canada's.
We didn't go through the defense yet.
We're just talking about forwards first.
Yeah, I have no complaints on your offense.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, no, that's
where that's the difference between US and Canada here for offense. You can just nail down the offense and you're good. There's some guys on the US offense that you could shuffle around in and out. Okay, but Canada's
there's other options too.
Yeah, there's so many other options.
There's other options. The side wasn't even hard. Forwards are easy.
Yeah, you'd be good with whoever you chose.
Fucking murderers row right there. But there's the obvious fan in me that I think Nick Suzuki was confirmed to have made the long list.
The 55.
He's not making the short list.
But he will.
If they continue to keep having them at Olympics, it wouldn't shock me if eventually he does.
He'll be there.
Not this year. But then we move on to the defense.
This is the difference.
And to start off, I have the only reason Vegas was in that series against the Habs last spring in Shea Theodore and Alex Pietrangelo. Mostly Pietrangelo, but I think Shea Theodore had a couple goals and was pretty good as well.
Are they a pairing on that team too?
I think they've definitely been one. Yeah. I don't know if they are currently, but I think they definitely have been one.
Nice.
Second pairing of Aaron Ekblad, Cale Makar. And third pairing of Adam Pelech and Dougie Hamilton.
Okay. See, I actually like that more than I thought I was going to previously, because you've got Shea Theodore, Alex Pietrangelo. That's okay.
I feel like it's a really good
decent
mix of
They're
player
decent.
type.
Well, I really like that second pairing because you've got offensive defenseman Cale Makar and you've got Aaron Ekblad who can lock it down.
Yeah.
So Cale Makar can
do his own stuff in the offensive.
Yeah, he's actually pretty nuts too. But oh man, I like that a little more than I thought I was gonna.
I think there's two guys.
USA's could win anyway.
I got a hard spot on two guys that you don't have mentioned.
Wait, what do you have?
Who didn't I?
Wait, a hard spot?
You got a hard on for Drew Doughty or who the fuck? What are you?
It's not saying they're not going to make. I'm sure these guys make the team too.
Don't pan down.
Darnell Nurse. And Drew Doughty. Yeah,
Darnell Nurse I was questioning because Darnell Nurse has been pretty solid.
He could probably get in there too. I mean, it's 6 guys. There's going to be other.
So here's what I'm thinking is based on this year, and I'm not talking shit about Pelech, but based on this year, I think you got to take Nurse over Pelech.
I agree.
That's fair. Pelech, I could maybe swap
stay with
that
the
in.
Islanders, please.
Please.
Please don't.
Mini camp.
But Ben, let me ask you. You put the when you get through the goalies too, you put the U.S. back end versus the Canadian back end. Who?
Defensively, they're more even than I thought.
The top end of Team USA is definitely better on defense, but I think Team Canada's got a decent spread.
No, I even like Dougie Hamilton. Like you put a I
didn't know he was Canadian.
I'm not gonna use him, but like you use like a shutdown, lockdown defenseman like Duncan Keith on his side. I know he's not a guy to play in the Olympics, but
Duncan
you put a
Keith
guy like him beside Dougie Hamilton, who is a major offensive defenseman. Like, okay, that's a great option as well because that's how he plays.
Well, I think that seems like that. I mean, that seems like that's what you were going for with Pelech.
Yeah,
because he is a pretty shutdown defenseman. Yeah.
Yes, he's a very shutdown.
And Nurse is the same way too,
dude. I have nightmares about that. I have nightmares about that fucking goal line save by that son of a bitch.
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
Let's go.
The position where it gets rough for Team Canada, yes. I think this year. I don't remember. There was a confirmed list of 6 I saw the other day. I think I remember them correctly. It was of their long list that are going to get pared down to 3. I think the list was Carey Price, Marc-Andre Fleury, Jordan Binnington, Carter Hart, Darcy Kemper, and
Joe Schmo.
I don't remember the 6th.
Okay.
Anton Forsberg.
But
is he Canadian?
Of that group of 6 that I chose was Jordan Binnington because
he's been the best
Louis
of them.
Has actually had a decent year this year. I mean, they're not great, but like they've been holding their own. He's had a decent year as well.
Yeah.
And Carter Hart, who, while Philadelphia has been terrible, has been trying his fucking best to hold his own. And I think he has a decent stats.
Boy, he had a rough one against the Lightning, though.
He had a rough one against the Lightning, but there's that. And then this is off the 2, but I did have the 3rd as Carey Price.
Homer!
So I don't disagree with you there.
No, I think
Darcy Kemper's had a bad season. Like, he's back to Darcy Kemper of old of not playing very good. So I don't.
And while Carey Price has not played yet this season, he is skating and practicing, and maybe will play soon. I don't fucking know.
Now here's
I still think because he wasn't injured, like he wasn't out because he was injured. So like I still think there might be enough there in terms of the times he's had long breaks and come back. He just had a decently long injury break and then came back and played last playoffs.
Yes,
like.
But
he's got enough pedigree, I think, to be and I had him as 3rd guy, mind you. So like, I'm not like saying I still think the more realistic options for in game as of right now are Jordan Binnington and Carter Hart. But I still think bringing Carey is worth it.
I think so too. But here's my thing. Here's what I'm thinking. He's been to the Olympics before. He has a gold, correct?
He does. He got one in 2014.
So he's got a gold already. Now I know the Olympics is awesome and you want to go to as many as you can, but he's not coming off of an injury break. He's coming off of a mental health wellness break. Are you going to want to go and be alone?
I don't know
for
if he's
2 weeks or like a week.
Yeah.
Away from your family, far away from everything. I don't think he's going to.
There's also that part. I don't know if that's going to happen.
I don't know if I'd want him to.
I think as 3rd after that, I think Fleury would be my next go because he's been in tough because he's on Chicago.
He's been in tough.
But I still he just won a Vezina, guys. Like he literally just won a Vezina.
You guys, you think this is him or you think this is the team?
He just won a Vezina, guys. Like I think he's probably a better option. He's done actually. I think he's done the 3rd ACC. He's done the 3rd string thing with Canada before. I think that was 2010. He was their 3rd. So that would also make sense. But I will say that is their big weakness this year, I think, is
goaltending for sure.
Yeah.
But that's still a strong ass team.
It's a really strong team. Those forwards, I don't know if it's going to matter. Like,
well, let me bring you to another team. Actually, who you and Eric, you want to go or do you want me to go?
No, I was gonna say. Speaking of strong goaltenders, Mike.
Aha! Strong goalies, strong
That's
forwards,
really good.
and nothing in between, gentlemen.
Literally. All right.
So I had Team Russia, and you're seeing it right now.
Oh, their defense. It's always bad. It's
dude,
always
this
bad.
was what I
Our
had.
first
I was
pairing's good.
looking through, and I was like,
Yeah.
What do I do?
It's always
You
bad.
can't skate the first pairing the whole time. That's
No, there's going to be 30 minutes a night that first pair.
That's rough.
So okay, so for my forwards, now the forwards, it's Russia, so it's fucking insane.
Those
We got
forward lines are pretty nuts.
we
Is
got-
Pavel Datsyuk still playing? Anyway, we'll get to it.
who knows? So he's gonna. I got Ovi on the left, Kuznetsov, I believe his line mate in the middle.
Yes. Yep.
And then I got my boy Kuch on the right. So
That is a fucking banger of a
that's
first
a
line.
nice first line right there. Listen,
That's an auto goal. First
listen,
line.
Team Russia's. This is their.
Oh my god, the second line.
Team Russia-
What the fuck?
Team Russia's
line.
game plan this year is you sure score on us. See if we give a shit. We're gonna score too.
7-3, guys. Yeah, let's fucking go.
Yep. So then the second line is Kirill Kaprizov, Andrei Svechnikov, and then depending on whether or not he
Excuse me.
plays, Artemi Panarin. I think he's going to, but because of political issues,
It's Mr. Svechnikov. You didn't say it right.
I'm not saying that. But anyway, yeah, I don't know if Panarin's gonna play, but
We shall see.
I
hope he does.
I hope he does
'cause he's
too,
fucking
because
great.
he's one of the best out there. So, and then on the third line, we got Buchnevich, Pavel Buchnevich, Evgeny Malkin, assuming he's healthy. I think he will be. I'm sure he will. And Vlad Tarasenko.
That's your third
Another
line.
good
That's
line.
the third line.
That's your third line.
Booch is kicking ass this year
That's
too.
the third line. And then fourth line, I got kind of rough. Here on the fourth line. I had Alex Radulov, Pavel Datsyuk, and Denis Gurianov. Now
You got
I
the Dallas Star connection there.
I do. I could have put somebody else instead of Pavel Datsyuk, but I don't want
Is he
to.
still playing professional hockey?
I don't.
Yep.
I don't have an idea. I just want him
I know
to
who
play.
it is. I know who the other person is, Mike. It's Ilya Kovalchuk, isn't it?
Shit, man, I could have.
Oh, that's a beautiful bastard of a man.
no,
I
I think he's
no,
GMing
no.
the team.
My other.
I'm
You know
fairly
what?
certain
I
he's
think you're
GMing
right.
the-
I
he's
think you're
GMing the
right.
team.
No, my other
Okay.
choice for center was Vlad Nemesnikov, former Lightning,
Okay.
Oh, wow.
for the fourth line. But
that's
yeah, so
fine.
that's
He's
my
NHL.
forwards. What do you guys think about my forward group?
That's a
No,
big
dude,
line.
yeah.
1, 2, and 3 are a force.
Are you talking shit about my boy Datsyuk?
I don't know if he plays hockey anymore, Mike. That's the thing.
Oh, he does. He does.
I wouldn't. I mean, line 3 is a first line,
On any other team, yeah.
just like everybody else. Like
On an NHL team, yes.
The fourth line's on Team Canada. That's a first line.
It
Fourth
also
line on
depends.
USA. That's a first line.
It also
Just like-
depends on how Malkin comes back, because like he's old and he's been hurt a good couple times, like But we'll see. That's pretty good forward. The first two lines are nuts. They're not.
Yeah.
I mean, they're close to Canada's offensively powered at
They
least.
are.
Yeah.
They're
It
close to
drops
Canada's
off
first
towards
two.
the back.
It definitely
but,
drops off
like,
towards the last couple.
It's still fucking good.
Yeah. And then see, this is what's exciting about NHL players in the Olympics is it's
You get
true
some
best
fucking
on best.
super teams.
It's
yeah,
true
like,
best on best. But for my defense, this is where we go downhill. It's a sharp downhill.
It's an okay first
here.
pairing.
The first pairing's all right. Ivan Provorov, who had a good couple years in Philly and then kind of started to shit the bed. And then
he's kind of
Arizona.
falling
Is
off.
he in Arizona?
As did the Flyers team.
They did.
To
Where is he
be
now?
fair.
He's
in
not-
Flyers.
He's still there?
Yeah.
He's still with
Oh, I
Philly.
thought he
Yeah.
moved.
They're not having a good time.
Yeah. See, the one thing I remember about Provorov, and Ben, I'm sure you remember this too, that sick goal he scored against the Habs in OT. Like he pulled it back through his legs and right in front of the
At
net.
that game.
You were at that game, yep.
Yeah. Oh.
It's a sick
Sorry,
goal.
They all literally I'm sure there's might have been a win or two, but like almost every game I've ever gone in my life, too. Like against the Flyers, they always lose.
You beat
it's
the Flyers. Okay.
And it's the Sharks. I don't know if I've ever seen an in-person win against.
I remember that. Remember you remember that, Eric? Remember to see that Sharks game?
Yeah, we went to this. That was
sick.
fun.
That was sick.
A lot of fun.
We gotta do that again.
Evander Kane was playing NHL hockey. Okay.
Yes, Evander.
Go on.
Yep.
Go on.
Then when I fucking dropped my fresh $13 beer down the stairs.
Yes, I experienced that. It was quite a thing.
That was one of the saddest moments.
Oh man, dude, I felt bad, but at the same time, it was so funny.
I'm sure it was fucking
we were walking up the stairs, and he
literally trip on like the last one and just send the fucking thing flying. And it was like this tall, like the stairs that go up to the nosebleeds, so it's a few sets. Yeah. So we were near the top, and I sent it over the side, and you could just hear it go flying down.
So it's a cup. It's in a plastic cup, from what I remember.
Yeah,
it's full to the brim, obviously, because they ain't gonna do you dirty there.
They do fill it, yeah.
He scuffed his toe on like the top step, and you scuff your toe, and you kind of like fling forward. So like flings forward.
I tried to like catch myself and also hold on to the beer, but like I couldn't do both. And
so
it was just
hits off the ground and just flings forward and over the edge like of the little platform. Oh man,
I got to like watch it go too. Like it wasn't just like it fell. Like I literally like saw it slide away, and I was like, I just bought you.
Oh man, it was funny.
$13.
It was so good.
Just paid the $13 for you. But anyway.
But my second pairing, and this is where we go downhill, gentlemen. My second pairing is Dmitry Orlov. Okay. And Vlad Gavrikov, who actually did very well against the Lightning in that series a couple years ago on the Blue Jackets.
I was going to say, Dmitry Orlov, he plays for the Caps, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he's actually having an okay
It's okay.
year.
He's not bad, yeah. Orlov is not bad.
Just when you throw it up against the decors of Canada, US, it's like, man.
It's a little
Especially when you get to the third pairing.
And then here we are at the third pairing, the Nikita connection, gentlemen. Nikita Zadorov and Nikita Zaitsev.
I like that, dude.
I don't want Zaitsev to go. Like you, Eric. I don't want Senator to go.
Yeah, you're like, screw that.
Yeah, but so that's unfortunate.
It's not the best.
But here, you thought the Russians shined on offense? You wait. Here we are at the goalies. Andrei Vasilevsky being backed up by none other than Igor Shesterkin. Both really Vezina caliber goalies this season.
With a third backup of Ilya Sorokin.
Don't say that.
I actually don't know. I don't know who I wanted. I didn't pick a backup because I was I'm only doing two. But it would probably be either Varlamov or Sorokin. Would be my choice for a third.
No. It would be Bobrovsky. Stay away from
the Isles. It's not Bobrovsky.
Get Sergei.
Bobrovsky's been strong this year, hasn't he?
Yeah,
he's been okay, but like no.
He's a good third goalie because he has Olympic experience and he can score another 17 goals on
the shootout.
Yeah, we want Sorokin on this team.
That's a really good tandem.
That's the only reason I picked TJ Oshie is because of his experience.
That's the best tandem in the Olympics right there.
Oh
yeah.
Not even close. And now final.
Wait
a minute. Oh yeah. What does anybody have any changes? Anybody do you make any changes?
No.
Honestly, no. Because the forward core is so good, and defensively you don't have many options.
I don't have any other choice.
And like no one's gonna argue on the goalies except for the third goalie. So which doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
So.
I was just gonna say I have to piss again because we talked for another hour and I've been drinking beer. So
yeah. All right.
so I need to be right back.
In 1 second, we'll get to the next team that Rick worked on.
Oh yeah.
Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back, Fifth Line podcasters, viewers. All right,
you're still here after all this time. My God.
We're gonna get right into it.
That means you're an Olympic hockey fan.
Yeah, so the country I chose was Finland. So we're going to go through Team Finland. I'm not going to lie. It kind of reminds me of Russia in the sense they have some very strong forwards. Defense is like, and then the goalies are respectable. So we're going to start the first line. On the left wing, we got Patrick Laine, centered by Alexander Barkov, and on the right wing, Mikko Rantanen. That's a great first line, guys. That's an incredible line.
Barkov.
That is a good.
That's quite nice. That's quite nice.
Yeah, that's a great line.
An underrated player, Barkov.
Yes,
for
yes.
sure.
We're gonna move on to the second.
Play?
I do think Laine is gonna play. Yeah.
Okay.
I do think Laine is gonna play. Second line, Teuvo Teravainen at left wing, Sebastian Aho, not the Islanders defenseman Sebastian Aho. I just wanted to clear that up, just in case people were confused. And on the right wing, Capo Caco, who's had a very good season with the Rangers. And I mean, that line, like, Aho's ridiculous. Teravainen, you got the whole Hurricanes connection there, which I think is good. And Capo Caco, a young player, see what he does. Like, yeah, put him on that second line. The third line, Mikael Granlund on left wing, Roope Hintz in the center, and Kasperi Kapanen on right wing. I think that's a solid third line. I think that's like kind of the dump and chase kind of line. Hintz is really fast. Kapanen is fast, and they hit you. They turn pucks over. And Granlund's had a bounce back season with the Preds. I know he's with that Duchesne Johansson line, I think, but he's had a great season. And my fourth line, Jesse Puljujarvi on the left wing, centered by Jesperi Kotkaniemi, KK for Benny, old Benny. And on the right wing, Jonas Donskoi. So those are my forwards, guys. So what do you guys think about that before I move on to D?
I mean,
I'm looking at the active players right now. I think that's I think that's the best. I think that's what
I don't
the best you got.
know who I would I don't know who I would put in over that.
Yeah.
Pasternak's Czech.
Yes. Yeah, he's a Czech Republic. Along with my boy Palat.
He'll make that team, I imagine.
He was one of the three.
Oh, one of the three.
Palat was one of the three, which
that's rough if he's in their top three.
One of the other three?
Yeah.
So when I look at all these lines, I think the forward lines, what stands out to me, like on other like Finland has like NHL caliber players through all lines. I know they might not be as deep as Canada and the United States, but you look at all the names, like
they're all guys. They're all guys.
Yeah.
They're all something.
And so they're all something, and I think that makes me feel pretty good about what they got. Again, I know I'm not favored to win, but I could see Finland being a dark horse, doing some damage.
Well, they could do something. It's hockey. Yeah. Anybody can do something.
Exactly.
When you they're in amongst the teams of they could do something.
Yeah, only guy I left out, I was gonna replace Puljujarvi with Eric Haula. That was the only other guy. He's
no, I think you want to get Puljujarvi.
Puljujarvi's been very good this year.
He's having a good season. So I was like,
bless you.
Thank you.
Number two. Right, they usually come in pairs.
I thought so too, but not this time.
Achoo!
So speaking of pairs, let's move on to the D pairs, boys. That's a perfect segue. So this is where Finland.
I have a question about this when we get to the end.
About the D pairs?
Yes.
What's your question? I think I know.
Oh, we can go to the end.
All right. So my top
question's
pair,
at the end. So
my top pair is Esa Lindell and Mira Heiskanen, the Stars connection there.
There we go.
Yeah.
Which okay, that's it.
I don't mind that. That's nice.
Caliber, yeah. And then bottom four, kind of interesting. We have Sami Vatanen and Jani Hakanpää. I think I'm saying that right.
That's just such a fantastic name.
Oh, it's so good.
Jani
it's
Hakanpää.
So good.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I'm not gonna lie, that's one of the reasons that sway me to pick him. So if I'm the GM of a team, just remember that if you have a cool name, call me. Don't call Jim Benning. Call me. Anyway, I have to do the calling
from Eric Trey.
Yeah. And then my third line is Marcus Nudavara, and Ben, I wanted to put your boy Sami Niku in there.
No, you don't.
I wanted to do.
Listen. What? Now listen.
He's hurt right now.
I know
he might be back.
I know that this guy's been real rough. But and you know who I'm talking about.
I know who you're talking
He's
about.
played on two shitty ass teams, man.
Rasmus Ristolainen.
He's played on two real rough teams, and he's got 250 points as a defenseman.
Okay, so
in 566 games.
I was talking to Nick about this. Here's the thing. This is my reasoning for not picking him.
Okay.
Right? So if I look at Finland's forwards, right?
Yeah.
They need to be like at least somewhat sound defensively, right?
Yeah. Oh.
Like,
okay.
no depth.
Okay.
Do you know what his career plus minus is? I know he was on shitty teams.
Well,
look
let me
up
look.
Rasmus Ristolainen's career plus
Well,
minus.
I've got
please.
everything up here. Oh my God.
Please say it. Please say it out loud.
What is it?
Okay, I want to hear guesses, not you, Eric. I want to hear guesses from the other two.
Mm-hmm.
No, or Nick.
Yeah.
So Ben,
Nick,
Ben, guess.
Nick knows. Sorry. Yeah.
Whatever it is, probably double it.
Negative 122.
Okay, don't double it. It's minus 173.
Oh, it was more.
Holy shit.
So guys,
that's so bad.
That's so
again,
you know how like plus minus isn't always that great at indicating things when it's far enough in one direction. Yeah, it's
all right.
That's
all right.
Do your job.
And so this is what I'm going to say. Again, this is what I'm going to say. I understand he's been on bad teams. I remember Adam Wilds was the one who was giving him the most slack when I first started watching SDP. And I was like, I was kind of confused. And when I was doing research last night, I saw that. And again, like if you go down active Finnish players and you look at plus minuses, they're all like normal. And then you just see this one. I thought it was 157 on the website I was looking at. I messed that up, Nick. I told Nick it was 157. It was one you said 74.
I'm on quanthockey.com right now.
Oh yeah, I wasn't using that. I wasn't
minus
using that.
173. I don't know which one's right, but it's a lot.
But yeah, and like it stands out. And again, like I'm at the way I would do this.
Yeah, dude, the rest of these are normal.
It's probably not gonna happen this way. They're probably going to take risks though. I just want to be very clear about that. But I would rather give Yanni Hakanpää a shot. Get up there.
I might agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
There's one the one forward. I don't actually know if you'd make top 4 lines, but forward wise, it would not shock me to see Artturi Lehkonen get an ask. Because he's not anything spectacular on offense. Every once in a while he chips in a goal. Got the goal to send him to the Cup Finals. My boy. But he is just so sound defensively. Like he is easily one of the better defensive forwards the Habs have, and is really good. And he functions really well as being the guy to stick on a line with maybe a couple like more offensive guys as like the buffer.
Yes.
He's just a really useful forward. I could see him maybe making as like one of the extras.
Okay.
But
so
I don't hate he's not on.
Is he a center?
No, he's a winger.
He is a winger.
He's a much less gifted Mark Stone.
Okay. Because I was gonna say I
emphasis on the much.
I was gonna take him over Donskoy just because Donskoy isn't like the greatest to like. He's with Seattle this year and he's had an okay season, but I could see Lehkonen again with that line of like and Kotkaniemi, that old Montreal connection.
They did play a bit together too, actually.
Yeah. So he was gonna be my replacement for Jonas Donskoy. I went with Donskoy though.
I don't hate that either. I do expect him to maybe make a extra slot.
Yeah. And to finish, funny.
That was funny.
Yeah,
I almost made Ben spit out.
You know your joke lands when you end it with haha funny.
That was honestly the delivery of that made me laugh more than.
The two goalies I chose were Jonas Korpisalo and UC Saros. Those are pretty nice goalies. Nice. I'm gonna say this: both those goalies in big game situations, we've seen them perform.
Mm-hmm. Dude, that's
Korpisalo with that record.
Yep,
it was like 60-something saves or some shit, or it was more than that.
UC Saros, it was 70 something. 70.
Yeah. Oh, in that 5 overtime game.
Yeah,
it was nutty.
UC Saros was the only reason the Preds were in that Kane series.
Made that playoff. The only reason they made the playoffs last year with he had a huge run down the stretch.
Obviously, my big question mark here, and I when I sent this to you, Mike, I put Tuukka Rask question mark because I don't know what the deal is with him. So he's.
I still don't really know where he's at. I think he was skating as
he was listed as emergency backup.
He was the e-bug.
Emergency backup a few nights ago.
That's like cheat mode. Like imagine. Yeah.
Oh,
imagine both get injured.
Darn.
Oh no, Tuukka Rask.
Dang, we're gonna have to bring in Tuukka.
Yeah. So that's my team Finland. Thanks for listening to what I had to say about Ristolainen. I hope I changed all your minds on that.
You definitely changed
sorry,
mine.
Risto. Also, sorry, Risto. I know you've had the teams you've been on in your career. That does suck. I'm sorry, but still.
Well, I have a couple things I want to say first.
Okay.
First of all, Teuvo.
Yeah, Teuvo.
Teuvo. Teravainen is plus 71, so that's pretty insane.
My goodness.
That's kind of a lot. And dude, where's your boy? Your boy Leo.
Camera.
It's so funny you say that. When I was looking through active players, I was like, he's Finnish? I thought he was Russian.
Yeah, right. He sounds
Even
because of the
Barkov are the Ovs
Dude,
that are like.
I was so excited to put Barkov in my lineup, and then I remembered. I was like, he's fucking Finnish. That weirdo.
He's Finnish. He's Finnish. So honestly, the Islanders, their first season without Leo, and they just are sitting in the bed. Maybe they want Leo.
Yeah, they needed Leo. They need Leo.
Leo was the true secret to the success.
So if I had to put Leo in the lineup, I would just replace Sami Niku with him. So he'd be a third line D-man.
He'd be on defense.
Yeah.
Sure.
He's a responsible two-way forward, so I could see him sneaking into the line.
Why not?
No. I just don't. I mean, it's one of those things, right? If Leo was in the lineup, I would have to replace a kid with him, like Puljujarvi or Kotkaniemi, which no.
No.
Finland needs some offensive firepower. Leo Komarov is not the guy. Yeah.
Well,
at least they're not in the same block as U.S. and Canada.
Yes. Yes. And guys, another thing too, Finland, they won their first World Juniors against Team USA a few years ago. And that is important. Like, Finland hockey is trending upwards.
Didn't they grab a world championship at some point too?
Yes.
A few years ago. So those players now are the young guys in the league. Some of these guys that you have on the list. Okay.
Yeah. And so, so I think Finland, dark horse team.
Okay. I like it.
They're always pesky as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're a never say die team, and I always have fun watching them for that reason.
All right.
Yeah.
And again, if any of you want to see these teams, if we went through it a little too fast, which I don't think that's possible, but if we went through it a little too fast, head over to our Instagram. We'll have them all posted right there. Again, it was Nick's Team USA. It was Ben's Team Canada. It was my Team Russia, and it was Eric's Team Finland. So head over to our Instagram, check it out.
Sorry, no,
that was it. I was done.
Go to Instagram, check him out if you want to see him. I don't mean to cut you off. I thought you were done. I told Mike this when I was looking at the USA stuff. They supposedly are dropping that roster in January. I have to assume other countries are following suit, but I know USA is. I'm interested to see when the US roster drops to see how close I was.
Yeah, we'll give everybody a little grade. We'll see how close we were. We'll take off points for incorrect players and stuff. It'll be interesting to see.
I'm finishing this semester of school. I don't need any more grades.
Yeah, I'm gonna grade you. Don't worry, dude. I'm an easy grader.
No. Okay, thanks.
Y'all get D's.
Oh no. You mean like DEEZ, right? That's what you're talking about.
D's nuts.
Okay,
but that's where we're gonna end it off. We're not gonna do a fantasy league thing, 'cause this shit's already gone on too long. Yeah. Ben's in last, Nick's in second, I'm in fourth.
Danielle's in first.
Danielle's still in first.
Changed.
Danielle offering Matt Zuccarello to me for Leon Draisaitl.
That's the most baller.
Oh, that's funny.
That's the most baller trade I've ever heard.
That's funny. All right, but please, everybody, if you enjoyed this episode, please hit that subscribe button if you want to see more. Please share it with all your hockey fan friends and family. And keep an eye out for little clips. Go over to our Instagram. Keep an eye out for cool photos. We're going to have a nice photo when I get a picture from Rick about long hair. We're going to get a nice little post.
Do we have any update about our Santa status from Danielle?
So our secret Santa from Danielle, it appears as though we're going to have to wait until after Christmas for our secret Santa to happen.
We don't think the last Because I remember I asked her. She said we're still waiting on one.
She said the one that's coming is supposed to be delivered on the 22nd, I believe. So that's going to be after our last episode before Christmas. So we're going to be waiting until the new year.
If it gets early, then we will know. We'll know before our episode,
Yes,
obviously. Maybe, hopefully.
Hopefully we'll be doing some Secret Santa on the next episode. But until then, we hope you have a very nice week, and we hope to see you next week.
On the Fifth Line Podcast.
Fifth Line Podcast. Out.
Like and subscribe and hit that bell.
Oot in a boot.
Oh, fuck.